Boruto chapter 52 is here. Finally, after a long month of waiting, we now get to see what is potentially Naruto's final form in action. But that's not all. Starting from here, the original writer and creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto, is now in charge of the story. He is the writer. This is huge for Boruto's future, and I for one am here for it. In the comments, share your thoughts on Kishimoto now again writing for Boruto. Do you have any concerns, or are you simply hyped? With that said, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to Plot Armor to never miss an upload. We're approaching that 100,000 subscriber mark and would greatly appreciate your help with that final push. I hope you enjoyed the chapter. Let's get into it. We open up with a better look at Naruto's new transformation and a slightly confused Ishiki. He's an intelligent being and asked himself a great question: why didn't Naruto use this ace up his sleeve earlier? And we know the answer to that is he didn't know of this power. It was Kurama who now decided to mention it. Sasuke too was confused as hell. He'd never heard of this ability. This was something new for everyone, Naruto included. When explaining the ability to Naruto, Kurama described it as something similar to nuclear fusion, a similar principle to how the sun produces energy. And let me just say, how on earth does Kurama know about nuclear fusion? I guess when you spend years in a cell, you have nothing but time for studies. So okay, I guess. Anyways, Kurama would continue to explain that his chakra and Naruto's together will be able to produce a new type of energy. And at this point, we're just getting answers to the questions we as readers have about this form. Because Naruto would ask, what is unique about this form? How is it different from Sage of Six Paths and Kurama mode? And it's apparently different because the other forms take chakra from elsewhere and use it. This form consumes both their chakras until one or both of their lives runs out, essentially sucking them dry. Lastly, Naruto would get some more advice before beginning the fight. Avoid unnecessary moves and erase unnecessary thoughts. Something reminiscent of Ultra Instinct. It's of course not that, but it brings back memories. With that, the fight using Baryon mode would commence. And Baryon, that is the official name of this form. Share your thoughts on that in the comments if you have any. Ishiki would charge at Naruto but be immediately countered, to the surprise of Sasuke. Ishiki wouldn't pay much attention to this and instead again charge in. But Naruto would dodge and bust out all those taijutsu moves he's been honing over the years, putting in straight work. If only Lee or Might Guy were here to see this. Ishiki, after getting the beats, had Sasuke shook, observing that Naruto was actually winning the fight. And at this point, Sasuke hasn't done anything in a long time. Dude is basically down for the count at this point, unfortunately. Then would come those cubes from earlier by Ishiki that caused a good amount of trouble before, but not so much this time. Naruto would stop them with the chakra tails and throw one back at Ishiki, throwing him off his feet and then appearing behind him, landing a big blow. But not enough to slow Ishiki because again he would charge back in and the two would square up, with Naruto landing more solid blows. This man Ishiki was relentless though this time, charging in with his shrunken rods jutsu, something Sasuke could see because of his Sharingan. But this time it was no use, Naruto caught them like they were nothing. Sasuke is just an audience member at this point giving us commentary. But he was blown away by Naruto catching those. He himself could hardly track them with his Sharingan, just to show you how powerful Naruto is right now. Naruto up to this point was looking pretty damn good in this new form, unstoppable even. Ishiki was now pissed. How on earth did Naruto increase his power so drastically, so fast? Naruto meanwhile was cooling. No damage, no sweating, everything was straight. We then switch back to Amato, Kawaki, and the others. Amato was inquiring about Kawaki's prosthetic. We're reminded that the arm was created for Naruto's use, and so it only responds to his chakra. However, it works for Kawaki because Naruto is constantly flowing chakra to him. Sumire would ask Amato if he'd be able to restore Kawaki's arm, and to this he would say of course. Kawaki wouldn't respond to this much though. I suppose with everything going on, his arm is the least of his worries right now. After all, he's unaware of what is going on with Naruto, Boruto, and Sasuke. At this moment though, the prosthetic arm would act up. Naruto's chakra was weakening and it was having an effect on the prosthetic. Back to the battlefield, Naruto would begin feeling fatigued. His energy was falling and it was very visible. Boruto in the moment wanted to help, but he was feeling weak himself and in a pretty bad state after that earlier beating. In fact, it was so bad that he couldn't even stay awake and fell asleep right there. Naruto would now recognize that the energy cost of this form is higher than he expected. There wasn't much time left, and so much for Boruto and his whole Konoha Genin are legit talk and threatening to stab himself like he's the big man. Props to him for being willing to risk his life in the moment, but yeah, all that talk didn't really lead to much. I guess you could say Boruto was humbled. Ishiki, smart as always, knew immediately. The new form and jump in power was a life-shortening sacrificial gain. To him, not knowing this, he'd won. This is over. Right then and there, blood would flow out of his mouth and a sharp pain then followed. Confusion and panic would now kick in. He hadn't taken much damage in his mind, nothing lethal especially, so this was terrifying. Now furious, he'd ask Naruto what did he do. The game to see who dies first would now begin. Ishiki was falling apart. Naruto would charge in again, and we get a look at what Kurama was thinking when proposing this plan. He knew this power would exceed Ishiki's, but they would still lose. The drawbacks of the power are too great. They would have no chance of victory. However, because of this exact circumstance, there was hope. The downside that it shortens their lives is the very key to why this is a solid plan, because all chakra is connected. This power has been shaving off Ishiki's life when they come into contact with him. Ishiki would realize while Naruto charged in that his own lifespan was shrinking drastically. He knew he should have had 20 hours left, but now it was down to 30 minutes. From 20 hours to 30 minutes after that beating. That's how you know Naruto was putting in that work. The taijutsu training has been paying off. Kurama's final advice was to not think about taking down Ishiki, but instead land hits like a boxer trying to win by decision. And this is when we start to see Naruto Mayweather, because this is now a boxing match. So the goal of shaving down Ishiki's lifespan would go on. Blow for blow, they'd go back to fighting, and my guy Naruto would again deliver the beats, at one point getting knocked down and then delivering a mean counter kick to Ishiki's stomach. This fight is damn good. Naruto had him pinned down. Ishiki couldn't keep up. The force of the hits wasn't the problem, but being touched at all was. Sasuke now would notice something. Naruto's chakra was continuing to go lower and lower. Ishiki reversed the hold Naruto had on him and slammed him right into the ground, calling him a lesser specimen. After that last assault, he now had 10 minutes. He knew he needed to grab Kawaki. Naruto was confident now, he knew it was too late. Ishiki would, in his rage, call Naruto a worm, telling him to shut up with the mockery. Suddenly though, Ishiki would sense something. Chakra in the distance. Now more calm, he'd announced that the last one standing will be the Osutsuki, not the lesser humans. Back at HQ with the others, there was now panic. Naruto's chakra was weakening, but they didn't know why. To the surprise of everyone, a void would open up, teleporting Kawaki to the battlefield. The chakra Ishiki had found was Naruto's in the distance. Naruto was devastated and Kawaki was shocked. The tables had been turned. Ishiki would reveal that it was thanks to the prosthetic arm that he was able to find Kawaki, and offer Naruto his thanks. Sasuke, still chilling on the battlefield, knew this was bad, and Boruto was still asleep for a moment. But then it happened. Boruto's eye opened, and not in a weakened state, he was wide awake. It wasn't him. It appears Momoshiki is back in control of Boruto. We'll have to wait for the next chapter to see what happens, but I am excited. Why right now? Why is Momoshiki interfering? Does he have something against Ishiki, or does he simply kick in when there's danger? Or maybe there's something in connection to Kawaki appearing. We'll have to wait and see and speculate, I guess, for the next month. Everything is really lining up for this to be the end of Naruto and Sasuke. Kawaki is now present and appears to be in danger of becoming the vessel of Ishiki. Knowing who Kawaki is, it's hard to imagine he would kill Naruto, like the preview of the series alluded to. What's more likely is Ishiki kills Naruto and Sasuke and takes over Kawaki, where he would then fight Boruto like we see at the beginning of the series. Either way, it looks like we are at the climax, and if this isn't it, I don't know what other situation in the future could end up leading us to that preview. So this might really be the moment we've all waited for, and I imagine a lot of Boruto haters and former Naruto fans will be coming back to the series to see how this plays out. The hype is real and we are ending the year of Boruto strong. With that said, that is the end of the Boruto chapter. Exciting stuff. We're in the endgame, guys. We got to see some good old taijutsu, a little boxing match. Unfortunately, again, no Sasuke action. Hopefully next time. And no Boruto, as he's currently down for the count. A lot is building up and I can't wait to see what comes next. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe to Plot Armor to never miss an upload. Again, we're approaching that 100,000 subscriber mark and would greatly appreciate your help with that final push. And to support us even further, be sure to check out our Patreon link in the description. Until next time, I'm KJ, have a great day, goodbye.